I think you should grab a timer and see how quickly we can get this episode done.
All right, I'm gonna do that. You want to do that? I'm gonna do that.
I legit think this might be the shortest episode. There's just not that much to talk about.
No, okay. Hold on. I'm gonna start this as soon as we start the show. Ready? In 3,
All right.
2, 1. What is up, everybody? Welcome to Speak Now Pro Wrestling. It's your girl, Denise Salcedo, and I am reunited once again with Santi Zap. Santi, how are you? Happy Monday.
I'm good. Where were you? You were you in like South Dakota, Kansas, middle of nowhere? What bum ass state were you in?
I was in Kansas City, Missouri. Dude, I had the best burger of my life. I don't regret it.
Kansas City's in Missouri?
We have two. Oh, that's right. You're from Canada.
Yeah.
We got 2 Kansas Cities, Kansas City, Kansas, and Kansas City, Missouri.
That makes no sense. Why wouldn't Kansas City just be in Kansas?
I don't know, but I kept forgetting. It kind of messed with my mind a little bit because I would tell people, oh, I'm in Kansas City, and I wouldn't add Missouri. So then I realized, oh shit, I should have probably added Missouri.
Hey, shout out to everybody that's living in New York City, Alaska, ladies and gentlemen. I'm sure y'all are watching here. That's stupid. If you're going to name it Kansas City, be in Kansas.
You want to know something crazier too? So I grew up in Bell Gardens. That's where I grew up. And if you cross the bridge, the next city over is Bell.
Oh, okay.
So it's Bell, and then you
Gardens
cross over and it's Bell Gardens.
Yeah, it's weird.
And they're two totally different cities. So yeah, we deal with some stuff like that. Anyways, that's probably the most interesting thing you're going to hear today. All right, let's get to it. Monday Night Raw from Pittsburgh. Santi, let's be real. What did you think of this edition of Raw?
This was like, oh, okay. We're in that weird spot of like, we kind of have to build to Saturday night's main event. Oh yeah, Evolution and like SummerSlam is like still awkwardly far away. I think the best way to describe this episode as a whole is stuff happened. I didn't think it was bad. Stuff happened, but nothing where it was just like, man, if you missed this episode of Monday Night Raw, you got to catch up. I feel like if I missed this episode of Monday Night Raw, I could probably catch up with the YouTube channel, like with the WWE YouTube page.
Yeah, you really could. They do a good job of like piecing together the highlights or all of that. So you really can watch this episode of Raw on that. But that's been a topic that we were actually just talking about moments before you logged on, which was the build to Evolution. Santi, this is a show that we have waited years for it to return. So many people thought it was never coming back. And we are about a week or so, 2 weeks, whatever. No, yeah, 2 weeks or so away from the show. And we have 5 matches that are officially on the card. However, about 3 of those came and were announced today, and we haven't had as many mentions of Evolution. So what I'm trying to get at is, do you think that Evolution has had does it feel important to you? Does the show feel important to you? Does it feel important to the company? Does it feel like a show that, given how many years it's taken to get here, that we're finally here?
I think I'm the wrong person to ask because my answer will by default be yes. It's important to me because of how much I'm into the world of WWE and how much I know that the first Evolution show means to professional wrestling in general. So by default, like I'm just excited for it. I think the better question is the general wrestling fan excited for this show? Has WWE done a good enough job to generate buzz and excitement to have this be in the same weekend as Saturday night's main event, as All In, as Great American Bash? Because I would argue the answer is no. I don't think that WWE has done enough to really make this show stand out on such a packed weekend. It is a lot to ask any wrestling fan, regardless of how hardcore of a wrestling fan they are. Hey, can you watch Great American Bash and then All In for 17 hours? Because that's how long AEW pay-per-views are. And then Saturday night's main event. And then can you wake up and really get excited for the all-women's PLE the night after? Like, it is going to be a tough task, in my opinion. And I would say that first glance, right out of the gate, the answer is no. I don't think WWE has done enough. I look at the match card. It's hype. Like, I'm looking at it now. Becky Lynch, Bayley versus Lyra Valkyria, certified banger. I think that women's battle royale match is going to be fantastic, and it's going to set up something big. Raquel Rodriguez, Roxanne Perez in that 4-way, 5-way, I don't even know how many women's tag teams are in this. I think that's going to be an awesome match. Io Sky, Rhea Ripley, awesome. JC Jane versus Jordan Grace. I think that's going to be great too. Like, the card is solid, but like, almost all of these just got announced kind of like offhand on this episode of Monday Night Raw, an episode of Monday Night Raw that will probably have the lowest viewership of most Monday Night Raws because it was at an odd time.
Dude, okay, I don't know if you saw my tweet. I forgot that Raw started early today.
Me too.
And did you really?
I showed up late.
Oh my gosh.
I showed up late.
Me too.
I showed up late. Yeah, I showed up late to my stream.
Santi, I found out by accident. I almost missed Raw entirely. I was going to upload a reel on Facebook, and I opened Facebook, and somebody on the Busted Open Nation group had posted about it. And I was like, fuck, I look at the clock, and there's 12 minutes. I haven't set up the stream. I have a bun in my hair. I have no makeup. I'm in my pajamas because I was editing, and I'm freaking out, right? And so I ended up, thankfully, WWE did so many reviews and recaps at the top of the show that I got in 6 minutes after the show started, right when Rhea's music hit for this. So it was just one of the things that I just forgot.
Yeah, for context, in the DM conversations of Santi and Lisa, normally she sends me the link like 8 hours before the stream, and I got it like 6 minutes. Literally 6 minutes before Monday Night Raw started.
I was in panic mode, like full panic mode. I just wasn't ready for anything. So it's just one of those things that, hey, they could have reminded us just a little bit more. But anyways, with the topic of evolution, there is a lot of things that were like you just ran down right now that you mentioned. Here's the big thing that I want to talk about, though, because in regards to this, we had a Stephanie Vaquer interview that she did in the middle of this, and there was a lot that kind of happened there because she is going to be part of this women's battle royal, and whoever wins that is going to be the new #1 contender to the champion. I'm assuming they're champion of their brand, that they would face that person.
They said their choice. They said
it's their choice.
Their choice. Because the interview with Stephanie was like, if you won, who would you pick? And she said that she would pick the winner of Io and Rhea. So I think they get to actually pick like Royal Rumble winner would.
Okay, so then whoever she picks will be the match at Clash in Paris. So I do think now this kind of got me feeling, okay, Rhea's most likely probably going to defeat Io. I do think we're going to see Rhea and Stephanie at Clash in Paris. That's just kind of what I'm thinking they're going to do because that's like their hottest match option that they have, especially for Stephanie and for Rhea. And I was a little bit bummed out too when I saw that Stephanie was going to be in a battle royal. I kind of wanted her in an actual matchup. But once I learned, okay, hey, she's going to clearly, I assume, win this match, then I'm kind of okay with it.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see. I have no idea who else is in it because maybe it's got like a Bianca Belair. Bianca Belair, that's another big name that is not on the card right now. Charlotte Flair is not on the card. So there's still some big names that are not on the card as of yet that could be heavy hitters to win that battle royal. That's probably right now the thing I'm most interested in out of Evolution, like that battle royal. Like what kind of names are we expecting on there? Is it going to be a lot of like lower tier NXT people and people that you just know you aren't going to win? Or like, are we going to get some genuine heavy hitters in there where, you know, it'll be an up in the air question as to who's actually going to win? Because if it's just Stephanie Vaquer versus lower level talent, well, that's not particularly very exciting.
It's going to be dead on arrival. Now, I got to say something, and most people probably already know this about me. I don't like battle royals. I really don't. Because the first, 70%, 80% of the match is just people standing around doing nothing, kind of throwing some punches in the corner. A couple people get thrown out, whatever. Because it's not until the last final minutes where it gets exciting. So I don't think it's not necessary. They got to throw in some big heavy hitters, like you said, because if not, it's dead on arrival. I won't be interested because I already have a hard time getting into battle royals in general. So I kind of wish it was a little bit different, but I get why they're doing it, considering that they did it at the first Evolution. So that's where we're at. Now, the other match that I do want to talk about is Io and Rhea, because that kicked off the show, and most of us knew that this was the match that was going to happen. But now that it's officially announced, Santi, how'd you feel about the announcement?
It just, I just think it's crazy that this is Io's first televised championship match since she won at WrestleMania. What have they been like? This championship reign is bananas to me. It's basically non-existent. The fact that she is now having a match against the person that she defeated 2 months ago is just absolutely crazy to me. Like this division, this main event women's division on Monday Night Raw is basically just Rhea Ripley and Io Sky. They have nothing else. Now, that Liv Morgan injury really completely derailed everything. Clearly, I think we can agree it was meant to be Liv Morgan versus Io Sky in this position. But here's the thing. I'm not going to complain about something that I know is going to be good. It's a known commodity. Io and Rhea is going to be a great match, but this is just such a symptom, such a clear and obvious visual representation of just how lacking the Raw women's main event scene is.
And it's crazy because now you got Stephanie there. You also got Roxanne there. So like you said, Liv Morgan's injury did maybe shake up some things, but they do got people so that it doesn't have to be like this. And maybe, God, when are they going to call up Jordan Grace? Shit, throw her in there. Like, we got to make stuff happen. I do think that the SmackDown women's division is, just a tad bit stronger than the Raw women's division. So I do second you on that. However, two other Raw people that are on the show, Becky Lynch, Bayley, Lyra Valkyria, all of that. I was so disappointed by how dead the crowd was during Lyra versus Bayley. Holy cow, I felt like I could hear people's conversations. They just didn't, there was no interest, I feel. And maybe they were kind of like that throughout the whole show, but it bummed me out that Bayley and Lyra, it didn't feel like it had that hype. And I think maybe it was also because everyone knew how it was going to end.
I wasn't expecting that ending. I thought Becky was going to come out and create neither of you get to face the man. Ha ha, my hot husband. Classic Becky Lynch stuff here. By the way, if you are somebody that's going to be angry at the Saudi crowd for not making enough noise for the women's matches, how about this American crowd who didn't make any noise for any match? How about that? How about that? What an awful crowd. One of the worst crowds of the entire year. Like, genuinely bad
SANTI,
crowd.
they're taping SmackDown tonight.
I know. It's
in
gonna
the
be bad.
Same crowd.
Hey, this is where we say thank you, piped in sound for SmackDown, because at least it's going to be pre-recorded, because that crowd was dog water, Denise. Absolute dog water. Because I actually thought that Lyra versus Bayley was an excellent match. I really liked what they did in ring. But you would think that they were out there training in front of nobody, because there was no noise. There was no interest. Everyone was sitting the entire time. It was ridiculous.
Yeah, it was very, very unfortunate, but that's where we're at. Let's go ahead and get into these super chats. We got McTaro here who says, SANTI better be here on time for promo code Denise for him for Blue Chew.
Hey, send me a sample and I'll show the end results, Denise, to really.
Wait, you're going to show the end results?
Show the end results. All right. That way we can really market this code, Denise. What better way to market it than some firsthand visual experience? Am I right, fellas?
Wow. All right. That's definitely going to be a conversation started. I'm just going to be here like, I don't know what's happening. We got Sin City Saint here who says it's a brand. Oh, wait, I already read this. I'm sorry. We got Infamous Raider Local here who says, did I read this too? Yes, I did. Wow, I'm so slow. All right, my apologies. We got, let's see. All right, okay, now I'm caught up. Sorry, guys. We got Bob Ross Jr. 4087 who says, I bet my whole house we're getting Stephanie versus Io at Clash in Paris, thanks to Stephanie winning the Battle Royal, and Io retaining and pinning Rhea cleanly this time. Okay, so Bob Ross here is expecting for it to be Stephanie versus Io, and I know that would be a good match, but I would still want to see Stephanie and Rhea.
Denise, this guy is in my chat. I've been calling him Bo Bros for months.
What?
I thought it was Bo Bros.
What? How?
I don't know. As soon as you just said Bob Ross, I'm like, oh, I'm fucking stupid.
Well, because they changed on YouTube. Now it's in the person's handles. It's not showing people's channel names anymore.
I didn't know that.
Today was the first day I noticed it, because it wasn't doing that before. And that was a whole topic today where everyone's names are different. So I'm relearning everyone's names, because not everyone's names matches their handles of what they were before.
Got it.
Bob Ross.
Why did you never correct me? I've been calling you Bo Bros for a long time. It might not even be because Bob Ross is probably maybe a common username people use. I have a Bob Ross in my community that I've been calling Bo Bros.
Yo, and you were making fun of me for that one time that I called that one guy, what is it, Gomez or Games?
Gomez, yeah.
Gomez, and you said it was Games, and I was right.
Games, yeah.
All right, we got Infamous Raider Local here who says, you think oh wait, we didn't even answer the question. My apologies. For from Bo Bros. Stephanie and Io or Stephanie and Rhea? Which one captivates you the most?
I mean, definitely Stephanie Io is something I'm interested in, but like, it's just funny that like we're already like trying to look beyond Io Sky's like SummerSlam. Like we're not even talking about SummerSlam for Io Sky. We're talking Evolution, skipping SummerSlam and talking about Clash of the Castle. Like, what do you do at SummerSlam with Io? Like,
That's
is it
what I was
Asuka?
saying. It was confusing to me. At first my like brain went immediately to, oh, this match is happening. Even though they said it, they said Clash in Paris and I heard them say it. My brain immediately went to, oh, it's going to be Stephanie versus Rhea at SummerSlam because SummerSlam is happening before Clash in Paris. So I just wasn't thinking about Clash in Paris, even though they were saying it.
That's a long time. That is a really, really long time for a number one contendership. I know we have the Royal Rumble, which is like 3 months. That's different. This is just a battle royal on a B tier PLE, getting you a championship opportunity a month and a half out in advance. Why not SummerSlam? Why not SummerSlam?
Bro, I'm surprised they're not already booking for Crown Jewel tomorrow at this point.
Yeah.
We got Infamous Raider Loco here who says, you think for SmackDown team, it's Alexa and Charlotte? Is that what we're thinking? I wasn't really sure.
Can you name me any other team that isn't the Secret Hervis?
No. Oh, and someone did say B-Fab and Michin.
I guess, sure. No, it's going to be Alexa and Charlotte. They're too big a names to keep off of Evolution.
For me, it was Raw. I don't know who they're doing for Raw because everyone's saying, oh, the Bella Twins, but they're not technically Raw.
Maybe like Natalia and Maxine?
Yeah, that was the only other name that was pretty much thrown out there. Like there weren't that many options.
Because there is no division. This division is fake. It's not real. It is an illusion. The titles are a figurehead of a division that doesn't exist.
I kind of want I almost want the NXT team, whoever it is. I'm assuming Fatal Influence. Sure. I kind of want them to win.
I was thinking Zaruka. It was going to be Zarya and Zaruka. I don't know. Who cares?
Well, I just kind of want the titles to go to NXT because there's more women over there, so there's more possibilities. All right, we got Sin City Stain here who says WWE finally investing in Cross, 3 new shirts. Oh shit, 3 new shirts. Karen Cross attacks Sami Zayn today before his match, injuring his ribs. How'd you feel about this, Santi?
Did he? Because he went out there and had a 20-minute match and no-sold the ribs and was actually more in the match than the healthy guy Penta. What the hell was the point of that? He held the
ribs, though, Santi. Everything he did this while he was holding his ribs. Although he did some crazy stuff in there.
Dude, this is just... Dude, how many of Triple H's top baby faces go out there with hurt ribs? It seems like it's something that happens every 3 weeks. Cody's got hurt ribs. Jey Uso's got hurt ribs. Sami Zayn's got hurt ribs. Everybody's got hurt ribs.
Didn't Finn Balor have hurt ribs recently? I don't even know. I feel like, yeah, you're probably right about that.
It's insane. It's insane. It's like, oh, we can't just allow our babyface to lose to get pinned. So we have to come up with a reason as to why they got pinned. And all of a sudden he pulls out of his back pocket the old trusty broken ribs every single freaking week.
And the funny part is that Dominic earlier in the day had his doctor's notes that he couldn't wrestle because he wasn't cleared. But then you got Sammy going out there with all the ribs and he's taped up and he makes it out there.
Can't touch this. MC Hammer can't touch this.
Literally, exactly. We got Blinging with Kimberly here who says, I don't understand the hate on Jey Uso. Well, here's the thing. I think people weren't happy with him winning the Royal Rumble, so this goes way back there. Everyone saw the screenshots floating around of all the dislikes the video got and whatnot. I think it's more so the criticisms is that he's just a catchphrase versus, any of the matches really being like extraordinary. So I think that is where the hate on Jey Uso stems from. We got Oscar Lara here who says El Grande Americano grew 7 inches after his indie wrestling tour in Germany. We saw Ludwig Kaiser today.
Whoa, do not.
Come on, Santi. I'm not going through this all over again.
That is El Tall Americano. We go from one Starbucks order to the other. I have no proof at all that was Ludwig Kaiser.
Grande is bigger than tall. Tall is smaller than grande.
So Santi, what, you think it's El Venti Americano? No, because I have self-respect with my money. All right, I'm not going to pay $17 for a coffee.
Technically, he should be Venti.
He should be Venti, but Venti means larger, right? Like, it means 20.
Yeah, because it's
but tall
Venti
means
is the
tall.
largest, then Grande, tall, and then
I
whatever the mini
understand,
one
but
is.
wouldn't it be funnier
Short.
if they go with tall, even though in Starbucks lingo that means shorter?
Yeah,
Wouldn't
sure.
it be
Do the
funnier?
opposite.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, they named Hikaleo Talatanga, so
Oh
they
my
can
God.
definitely do this.
Denise, I am not kidding. On my stream, I said, wouldn't it be funny if they just call this guy Tall Tonga? He's just a Tongan that's tall. And then they came out with Tall Tonga. And I was like, oh my God, what the fuck? It was a joke.
I had known this because the trademark came out a long time ago. And so when I saw the Talatanga, I'm like, oh, that's going to be Hikaleo when he comes in.
So dumb. It's so stupid.
Talatanga.
So stupid.
Santi, what do you think your bloodline name would be?
SZ Mateo, probably.
Z Mateo. Bro, so bad.
Yeah, I would be SZ Mateo. You would be DS Mateo.
Oh God, DS Mateo. I kind of like it. DS Mateo. Let's go. Thank you, Oscar Laura. We got AJ Trip 20 who says 3 things. 1, the more Gunther talks about 3 minutes, the more I think Goldberg is winning. Ooh. 2, I think the Judgment Day winning the titles might squash the rumors of the Usos reuniting. 3, thank you both for these streams. Much love. Thank you so much, AJ. That was very nice of you. I think you made some interesting points with 1. I think a couple of people have been expecting for Goldberg to win, meaning that there might be a cash-in followed by Seth Rollins afterwards. 2, the Judgment Day winning the titles might squash the rumors of the Usos reuniting. Oh, yeah. So I think a lot of people were questioning during my chat. They were asking why like the Judgment Day hadn't necessarily broken up yet. It felt like that was happening, but that may be prolonged now. I don't think that they might be doing it as fast as we might have assumed. And also, we should mention, by the way, that we do got brand new tag team champions, Finn Balor and JD McDonough, defeated the New Day. And Santi, I should have known this. You want to know how I realized afterwards that I should have known there was going to be a title change?
Why?
They worked this match so differently. The pace was fast. They actually had a pep in their step, and they were working this match like they had the I'm about to win tag team championship gold. And one of the things I even pointed out was I actually felt like JD McDonough has been a far better performer since he returned after that whole scary whiplash hit in the head moment on the table. I think JD McDonough has been doing so much better since he returned. But my fear is, though, that the last time Finn and JD were tag team champions, remember when they didn't even defend the titles?
Garbage. 130 days without defending the things. Almost
That's
like
my
Io.
concern.
Almost like Io. I missed this match. My internet went out. I caught the very end of it, so I'll have to take your word for it that it was good.
You know, it was good. Honestly, I found myself enjoying it, and I thought that it was a fine performance by all 4 guys. Like I said, the pacing just had there was movement, there was energy in it. This wasn't like your dull, normal, your normal matches you would probably get with like these guys, unfortunately, because we have seen some ones that were not that good. Okay, we've seen some that were not good, but this one was definitely good. Thank you, AJ. We got Infamous Raider Loco here who says, Santi, you might not know this, but this is the greatest Raw show ever. Well, for Denise, Raw was okay, though. Hope you're doing good, sir. Thank you, Frank. We got Tracy here who says, Santi, help Denise understand the Tony D appeal. Look, I'm sorry, but the Tony D, Luca Crucifino, and the family storyline on NXT is a dud.
I think it's amazing. Every time I'm like,
of course you do, Santi.
How am I so emotionally invested in this fictional mob family?
You're lying.
No, I love it. I
think
it's amazing. I think it's so good.
What's amazing about it? Tell me. I'd love to know.
It's the drama. It's the who done it. It's the who's gonna stab who in the back. Who is the consigliere for Stacks? Denise, clearly you're not a fan of The Godfather. Clearly you're not a fan of all of the great mob movies out there. This maybe just isn't for you. Maybe just this isn't.
It's not. I think it's so incredibly boring, and I just can't get behind it. I'm sorry. Every time I watch it, I'm just thinking to myself, we got to move on. There are certain things that I just don't like. My least favorite things, I know this is not an NXT post show, but my least favorite things is that storyline, Chase University, the Heritage Cup. Oh, I'm
Okay,
anti-Chase.
I,
You know how mad I was when they brought back Chase U?
I was
I
so
nearly
happy.
passed out. I was so mad, Santi. I
I
wanted to
literally
stop watching
scream at my
NXT.
chat to shut up. Chase U is on. That's become
Why?
a
They're so okay. They were cheesy before, and now they're like a million times worse.
yeah. You got to let it build up. You just got to let it seep into your veins.
Santi, I've
Okada
been
could have been
letting
in
it play
Chase U
out.
had he signed with NXT. You know that could have been Okada in there. Chase U signing Okada would have been huge.
Oh God, no. I'm sorry. I've never been a fan of Chase U. I only like Thea Hale. Thea Hale, I've always loved. I even liked her little storyline with Riley.
I'm a grown
Cute.
ass woman.
I like that. But everything else, it's just been awful.
I think
Sorry,
it's
not a Chase
fantastic.
U fan. I'm
I love
sorry.
Chase U. I love Chase U. It's so
Don't tell me you like the
stupid.
Heritage Cup too.
No, that thing can burn in the deepest parts of hell.
Okay,
The
thank you.
Heritage
All
Cup.
right, well, at least we agree
Yeah,
on one thing.
yeah.
Sin City Sane here says, Santi, let the chorizo loose.
Oh boy. Hey, give me that blue chew, all right? Give me that blue chew.
Do you know my quote, Santi? So
No.
I said this thing accidentally on Busted Open like several months ago, and it just kind of took a life of its own. When the meat is good, the meat is good. It's my slogan.
Nice. Yeah. All right. I like that.
All right. We got Sophisticated Banana 2336 who says WLA for getting this push and facing Seth. That's right. LA Knight attacked Seth Rollins from behind today after his segment with CM Punk and Gunther fighting into the crowd in the concession stands a little bit. And they are going to be wrestling each other at Saturday night's main event.
Yeah, I don't know. This show just felt so confusing. They were building to so many different things, you know, like the build to Saturday night's main event and Evolution. It just felt a little bit disjointed. Good for LA Knight, but like it's still just Saturday night's main event. You know, with SummerSlam around the corner, what are you going to do with LA Knight? Because it's not going to be Seth Rollins. That's clearly going to go to CM Punk. What is the long-term play here for LA Knight? I don't know.
I have a question for you because coming out of Night of Champions, the feeling that I had was I'm over Seth and CM Punk feuding. Am I just a hater?
I think it feels like it's been a lot longer than it actually has, but they've only had one match. One match.
No, they've had the Raw
singles match.
Oh, okay, fine.
Yeah, I should have clarified.
Seth was chiming in during his feud with Drew. Remember, he was the special guest referee. So I still count that time. And then, like, I literally thought they were going to be done in that match on Raw Netflix.
Did you not? Do you not like the stuff that they've been doing?
I liked it to a certain point, but then I felt like they've reached the end a bunch of times, but they keep extending it. That's my issue. I felt like it should have ended a long time ago. It felt like it was right. It felt like it was right to end and we can move on to something else. And now I just feel they keep going back to it.
I do think we need, I wouldn't mind if they moved on. I just think that we need the big blow off match. And I think that's SummerSlam. After SummerSlam, I'd be okay with them taking a break from CM Punk and Seth Rollins.
They're not. We're going to see this feud forever, Santi. Mark my words. It's never going to end. All right. We got Rafael Garcia here says, so the large American is not only now German, hi Ludwig, but is now just a ripoff of the TNA Masked Man gimmick whose name would get you banned. Okay, question mark. I don't know where we're going at with Rafael.
You don't know. Yeah, the name would get you banned. Okay, you do know that.
I'm saying specifically with the large American with what's his face, Ludwig Kaiser. I don't know where they're going at with this. I don't know what they're going with that.
I think it's so funny that Gunther had this deep conversation with him. You have to go out there. You have to make a name for yourself. What would Gunther say now if he ran into Ludwig Kaiser?
This sucks.
Conversation.
I don't know. I'm sorry. This was just not what I had in mind for Ludwig Kaiser. It really
no, neither
isn't.
did I, dude. After those Charlotte DMs got leaked, brother got buried.
I just feel like there was a lot of potential. This dude got vouched by The Undertaker. The Undertaker vouched for this guy. Like said he looked at him as being a next big star. And this is what he's doing now? It's a fall from heaven. I'm sorry.
It is. I mean, it made sense for Chad Gable.
A long time ago.
With Chad Gable, it was hilarious, you know, because he's funny. It fits his character. But like with Ludwig Kaiser, I don't know, man. Like I was a little bit taken aback when I saw that.
Yeah, I was too. So I'm sorry. I know I'll let it play out. All right. JJ Castillo here says, can we give our praise to Charles Robinson after getting run over by John Cena on Saturday? The way he ran on the ramp, giving WrestleMania 24 flashbacks. I loved that moment, by the way. That was one of the moments that I really enjoyed from the show because it was a nice flashback. And when I think of Charles Robinson, that's obviously the moment that I think of. And I'm pretty sure everybody else does too.
I don't think we need to be giving our praise. I think we need to be giving our condolences.
So our prayers. Yeah. We got Nishi Forever says Monday Night Megastar will win the World's Heavyweight Championship soon. Yeah, says Nishi. Thank you, Nishi. We got Bob Ross Jr., who says, IDKY, but I fully expect Blake Monroe to be added in that match with JC and Grace. I'm the same Bob Ross from your chat, Santi.
Okay, so I'm sorry for calling you Bob Ross.
Oh man. All right. I hope Blake does get added, or maybe she gets a match at Great American Bash, but I do expect Blake Monroe to somehow be involved in Evolution. We got Anthony Giuliano here who says the Judgment Day is the next Evolution with them all holding gold just like Evolution. I mean, they do all have golds. Thank you, Anthony. Yeah, they do. We got JJ Castillo here who says, I know people want Cody to turn heel, but my main concern is who will be the top babyface, who is there every week. Like there's been teased, but who can be the babyface when Cody turns heel?
Okay, so somebody brought this up before. Like, they're not going to turn Cody heel. They don't have somebody that can be that big of a babyface. Same thing was the same concern with turning Roman heel. They did not have a babyface to go up against a Roman Reigns for a long time. There was no one on the level of Roman. It wasn't until they built up Cody to be that guy. Because even during the run of Roman Reigns being a heel, Seth Rollins was a heel too during that exact same time. There was no top babyface during the majority of Roman's heel run at the top of the company. So WWE does have experience running with a top heel being the face of their company.
So I guess there's nobody else at the moment right now because I couldn't think of anybody else.
I think there's more now. I'd say there's more of I think there's better people suited to be a top babyface against a mega heel Cody Rhodes. There's CM Punks of the world. Randy Orton is around.
Drew? Because Drew is a heel, but he's loved. Almost, he could be a babyface.
There are more names now that could protect the babyface scene from a super heel Cody Rhodes. I think they're more capable of doing it now, and if they were able to do it in the early 2020s with Roman, they could definitely do it now with Cody Rhodes with a much healthier main event scene.
Let's go, Drew. That's my money. I'm putting my money on Drew eventually.
Yeah. Jey Uso, right. It's very true. Jey Uso is ridiculously popular.
We also got David Primero here who says, watch Andre Chase wins the NXT title from Oba. I'll retire. I will retire. Okay.
Can I have your YouTube channel?
Yeah, I'm saying retire from NXT on Tuesdays. Oh. Santi was like, I already put a bid. Let's go.
Yeah, I'll start the bid.
Thank you, David. All righty. Let me go ahead and just follow up here on what we haven't discussed here from Monday Night Raw. All right, Rusev versus Sheamus. Okay, I saw mixed reactions for this. I liked the match. I know it dragged on a little bit, but there were some good parts in it. I didn't love the ending because I thought it would have been a DQ.
Yeah, what the hell was that ending?
By that.
Yeah, the ref is literally watching him remove the turnbuckle. Okay, so then why do wrestlers constantly hide that act? I don't get it. It's just this weird lack of consistency.
I thought that maybe they had announced that there was no DQ and maybe I missed it, but apparently a bunch of people were confused too, meaning that they didn't ever announce that there was no DQ. So that should have been a DQ.
1,000,000%. Yeah, it's just it's these things, Denise, because like inherently I don't hate that finish. I just hate that that finish, the way that it went with the ref not calling a disqualification, it does the wrestling cardinal sin where it makes me try and make sense of something fictional, where all of the sudden I'm now trying to dissect this thing and now I'm realizing how dumb this is. When wrestling does that to me, it's a bad thing. Like when you start to try and and make sense of illogical things, you're in a bad spot. They should have called a DQ there, honestly. Even if ref should have just taken an executive decision there. They're like, yeah, it's DQ. Otherwise, this just looks stupid. Because I thought the match was fine. I didn't think it was like wonderful or great or super memorable, but the ending really took me out of the immersion, is basically what I'm trying to say.
And they gave it so much time too. So I was expecting some sort of I wasn't expecting this ending because it was a little confusing, but that was also another thing that I felt like this was definitely the best thing we've seen Rusev do since he came back to Raw, because of other than that, like, no, there, it's kind of been like mid. There hasn't been that much that Rusev hasn't necessarily rocked the world yet in his return. So this definitely has been the best thing that we've seen so far. We got Anthony Giuliano who says, looks like we might get CM Punk versus Gunther. Wow, that gets me to my next segment, because we did see CM Punk shove Gunther after he went after Seth Rollins, but Seth Rollins ran away. And we did have Seth Rollins confront Gunther and basically let him know, like, hey, he's coming for that World Heavyweight Championship. My favorite part of this whole thing, Santi, was Gunther's shoes. His shoes were lovely.
Oh.
They were expensive. They looked expensive.
Oh, I didn't see. I like the I like the shit talking of Gunther to Goldberg. That's fun. I like the look. I thought it was hype when both CM Punk and Seth Rollins were in the ring with Gunther. I'm like, oh yeah, like this is what the main event scene should be for that title. Why aren't you guys going after this title? It seems so weird that you guys are more
CM
focused
Punk
on each
and
other.
Gunther?
Why not? I mean,
I thought they were going to do that last year, actually.
So
I thought
did
that
I.
was going to be the main event WrestleMania match at one point for this past WrestleMania.
I thought for sure that match was going to be in the cards, because like Gunther needs main eventers. Like, you can only run Sami Zayn and Jey Uso as his permanent opponents. Because right now, like, I wouldn't be surprised if it's Jey Uso and Sami Zayn at SummerSlam for Gunther. But if the main event scene for Gunther has CM Punk and Seth Rollins, like that makes that title so much more special.
Yeah. I mean, I'm still wondering when we're gonna get to that CM Punk title moment. So I think I feel a little bit more confident that it may actually happen. I think maybe eventually when Seth gets it, then CM Punk will finish him off. You were mentioning that blow off moment. Maybe that is the blow off moment. He takes the title away from Seth.
Yeah, maybe, sure.
I hope so. All right, we got Anthony Giuliano here who says we can have Team Punk versus Team Rollins at War Games.
Oh,
Man, I don't hate that.
What do you mean? You just
I
talked
don't
about
hate
how you
that.
don't. You
I
just
know,
talked about
but
how you
here's
want this
why I
feud to
don't hate it.
end.
You want to know why? Because I know this feud's not going to end. It's never going to end. I'm
Okay.
accepting it. I'm in the
All right.
process of acceptance.
Okay,
But I
that's fair
would
then.
like this only because you want to know what my first thought was? Bronson Reed would be in this match. Braun Breaker would be in this match. I want to see those guys in War Games.
Hey,
you know,
did you see that Seth was on a flight for Plan B? Maybe to Orlando, recruit somebody from NXT.
Oh,
Plan
I didn't
B.
see that.
Yeah, because he was on the phone. He's like, our visionary is on a flight.
And Paul. Oh, yeah.
To
Okay,
execute Plan B. Maybe that's worth talking about. What is Plan B? Maybe flight to Orlando, recruit somebody from NXT.
Who? Obafemi?
So we were joking about how it has to be somebody that starts with a letter B, so they would rebrand him to Boba Femi.
Boba Femi? Or he'd just be Bronson Femi. Or is
maybe.
Okay, hold on. We got Bronson.
Broba Femi.
Braun.
I don't know.
I'm trying to think of another name that would actually fit. Okay.
Ethan Page.
Ethan Page.
Could be.
I don't know. I don't like that his name doesn't start with a B now. I can't have it. It's unacceptable.
Well, people are saying beef and page and are using B emotes and saying B, go with a B emote.
We got Bob Ross Jr. here who says the biggest takeaway from last week was Saudi Arabia loves Julia, and it seems to be me that WWE's gave a vote of confidence in the Big Three storyline by giving Jade the Queen of the Ring and Naomi being the Money in the Bank holder. Yeah, I mean, all of that was really great to see. All of which, you know, I think everyone saw the writing on the wall that Julia was going to win the United States Championship. That Jade winning the Queen of the Ring was bound to happen. And then Naomi's been killing it in her role. I've been very excited. When I was at Fanatics Fest, I saw a couple of people that were dressed as Naomi. So that's always the kind of like a little bit of an indicator as to how the fans are feeling about somebody. The more cosplay you see of someone, hey, something's working. It's sticking with people. And I'm seeing more people shout out and give Naomi her flowers. Thank you, Bob Ross Jr. All righty. I think. Oh no, wait, no, we just got the last match. Oh shit, I actually really enjoyed the last match. Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed defeating Sami Zayn and Penta. This was fun. My favorite part though was Sami Zayn and Penta doing Penta's cunty walk. That was so great. But there was just a lot of that. Did we talk about this match? Because we were talking about Sami Zayn's ribs earlier. We kind of did.
We kind of did. Yeah. This is one of those episodes where we're trying to artificially inflate the episode so that it wasn't 5 minutes, because we literally could have gotten through this in 5 minutes. We just chose to talk about Blue Chew for 10 minutes. And then we decided to talk about NXT on a Raw show.
Oh, shit. That should tell you everything about Raw.
Yeah. The match is fine. But like,
I had a good time with this.
What was the point? What did this do? What did this advance? What did this further?
Good action, though. There was good action in this. Sami Zayn freaking suplexed freaking Bronson Reed. That was crazy. I liked all of this. This was a fun match.
I know, but like, I want my main events to move the needle, to push narratives forward, and I don't think that this pushed any narratives forward. None at all.
No, the only thing was it entertained me.
It was entertaining. I thought it was entertaining, but it's just like, okay, so like, what is the consequences of the results of this match? Because I actually think that the landscape of WWE doesn't change at all if this match doesn't happen. Like, at all. Like, it doesn't impact anything, right? If this match doesn't happen, the episode is the same.
Yeah, that's true. I can't really argue that, Sam.
And that's not a good thing, you know? Like, if that's your main event, if the end result literally does not matter, why is that main eventing? Aside from the star power, excellent match, good action, which I 100% agree. But I'm a Mark loser. I want to see storylines get advanced, and this advanced nothing.
Yeah, but I still like this, though, because I popped for a bunch of different things that happened in it. Like all the big moments. I know you were saying about Sammy wasn't even selling his ribs, and I know it. I crossed my mind, but he's extraordinary, Santi. He was still able to do these incredible feats of power.
Oh, you like the Karrion Kross ending then, where he's just getting murdered and then he's just like, just kidding, I'm alive. I won.
Yeah, let's go. All right. We got Anthony Giuliano here who says, I forgot to mention, I love your interview with Sting. I can't believe we might get Bianca versus Jade versus Naomi soon. Yeah, that will be great. I'm looking forward to that. And thank you so much for watching that interview. Please check it out, guys. Getting to talk to Sting was incredible. And I feel like I manifested it, Santi. I manifested it with putting my Sting little cardboard behind me for the last, I don't even know how many months it's been, but it was manifested. So thank you.
Was that your first interview with Sting?
My first, yes.
Very cool.
It was my first time actually meeting him too. So that was it was very, very cool. Very, very nice guy. And it was nice. It was nice.
He looks so cool with his silver hair. He looks so cool.
And his line was so freaking long for his meet and greets. I didn't even think I was going to get a chance to meet him, Santi. I wasn't even counting on it. So when
how does that work? Just a real quick question. When you got to interview him, did you stand in line to get to interview him, or did you have something press related to get you to him?
I had two people vouch for me. That know Sting, that vouched for me to basically like do the interview. And so that was what really helped me was to have that vouching and be like, okay. And it was at the end of his meet and greet. So he was going to leave to go catch his flight and, do his thing. So it was after his interview where it was like, hey, do you want to do this? This is Denise. And he's like, oh yeah, Denise, like blah, 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 blah. Like, because he had heard about me through somebody else. And then the guy that was there that was actually vouching for me there in the moment. So he had heard from me from another person, and then the guy that was vouching for me there at that moment. So it was those two people plus me introducing myself and then just getting right into the actual interview. So it was a really just kind of all the stars aligned kind of moment.
Nice.
So I was beyond thrilled. So yeah, I was very happy to get that interview. Even if it was just a few minutes, I will take it.
Hell yeah. That's great.
Alrighty, everyone. So there you have it. That was our Monday Night Raw post show for June 30th. And Santi, our time was 43 minutes, which is not too bad.
We extended that more. This show had no business being 43 minutes.
No, it did not.
No business being 43 minutes.
Thank you to everyone who stuck around, Santi. Oh, are you going to say something?
Yeah, 43 minutes. You haven't wished me a happy Canada Day tomorrow. That's all right. Whatever.
I didn't know it was Happy
Yeah.
Canada Day
Wow. Okay.
tomorrow.
Wow. Wonderful. I know it's 4th of July soon. I would have wished you a happy
I don't want to be
4th of
wished a
July.
happy 4th of July.
Well, you're going to get a happy
I
4th
don't
of
want
July
a
from me
happy
now.
4th of July.
Now I'm
Wait,
going
but
to
it's
make sure you get
tomorrow.
one.
But it's
What?
tomorrow is
Canada
the
Day.
Happy
Yeah.
Canada Day. So
Happy
then I
Canada Day.
still have tomorrow to wish you
All
a
right.
Happy
I'm
Canada
expecting
Day.
a DM Happy Canada Day, and we will follow up. We will follow up.
Okay, I'm going to follow up. I will wish you a Happy Canada Day.
All right. Perfect.
All right. We got a super chat here from Brandon who says, thanks, Denise, for the awesome content and for being willing to watch my shout out video to you. It means the world to me. Much love. Thank you so much, Brandon, for all of the generosity. All right, guys, that is it. That is a show. Santi, where can the people find you?
Santi's app. Just Google it. I'm now streaming on Kick if you want to go check that out. But just Google Santi's app and pick the whatever platform you prefer.
Alrighty, guys, that's for me at _ Denise Salcedo on all the social medias, youtube.com/Denise Salcedo. Check out that Sting interview. I also interviewed Mr. Iguana.
Oh,
interesting how that happened, by the way, because if you
never,
recall,
I don't know.
I asked on Monday. I asked you, Santi.
Hey, I don't know what you're trying to insinuate here. I don't know what you're insinuating here. I think I'd like to end this episode.
All right. Bye, everyone.